Wait, is this your ski jacket?
It's not a ski jacket. It's just
Maybe it's jet lag. Maybe it's the novelty of her new world in Canada. But Kiana Rodell cannot stay still for a moment.
I don't know if
Is this yours?
yeah.
As for how she got here, that starts with a picture of this man, whistleblower Edward Snowden, wanted by the U.S. for divulging his country's surveillance secrets back in 2013.
Who's that?
Edward Snowden.
So, do you remember him, or just remember hearing stories about him?
I don't remember that much about him because it was a long time past.
You were pretty little.
Yes, so I don't remember him.
Do you remember why he was staying with you?
Oh yeah, he had to be sheltered.
She's right. For 2 weeks in 2013, Snowden hid with her family before escaping to Russia.
I can show you.
Their lawyer was Snowden's lawyer too and asked them to help out.
That's great.
Eventually endangered by that generosity, escape was their only option. As Vanessa Rodell knows, Canada, their only refuge.
I feel like, oh, this is my second home that give me a big chance to change my life. And I cannot believe that I'm here right now.
You know, as we're talking, you're especially hanging on to your phone.
Yeah.
Who's at the other end of the phone there that you're thinking about all the time?
I'm always thinking about the two families still in Hong Kong. I want they brought here in Canada.
The others are those who helped shelter Snowden, all of them vulnerable asylum seekers still in Hong Kong, including Kiana's father and half-siblings, meaning a family is now split. And this is where the good story of a mother and daughter's safety becomes a story of threats that persist.
You don't do a lot of interviews, but something about this is so urgent that you've decided you have to. What is it?
These people helped me in 2013. And yet here we are in 2019. And they only just now are having their first claims for protection recognized. These are people who can't go outside without being recognized, without being followed by people like the Sri Lankan police. They should be able to wake up in the morning without worrying the next day, are they going to be detained by the Hong Kong police and sent back to Sri Lanka where they're facing death?
They almost certainly know where he is. They just need Hong Kong's approval to get him.
This is a scene from the 2016 Oliver Stone film Snowden, and this is arguably a moment where so much changed. The Canadian lawyer, Robert Thibault, taking Snowden to meet Vanessa and the others.
This is Ed. Ed and Ayana. Thank you. These are good people. They won't talk. I've been handling their cases for years. They're like you.
That's so nice.
They're stateless.
It was in the process of this movie being made and aired that the secret of how he was hidden got out and the danger for them escalated.
You may not feel it, Ed. You're not alone.
Thibault, who has been chased out of Hong Kong, was back in Canada to greet Vanessa and Kiana last week and is still fighting for the others. But Snowden senses a disturbing delay.
You know, I have nothing but thanks for Canada and for the government of Trudeau, and particularly for Quebec, because they're the only province that allowed these families to apply in their situation. The problem is it's not enough.
But what are you asking the government of Canada to do?
They need to admit Sapun, Ajit, Nadika, and their children into Canada. And the only one who is in a position to do so right now, who has the legal framework to do so right now, is Canada.
But the Prime Minister has said that this process is independent, that he can't intervene. So what are your...
If this process is independent, right? If it's truly independent, they already would have been admitted. I believe, and everyone else believes, the only reason this process for admission has taken so long is simply because the Canadian government's bending over backwards not to create an appearance that might irritate the United States government.
Because helping the people who helped you might look like Canada is helping a man the United States considers to be a traitor?
Right, that's what they would say. But the only thing they did is they helped someone who was facing retaliation for telling the truth. And if that's something that Canada can't stand behind, right, that's something we need to know publicly rather than sort of doing it privately.
A reminder about Snowden, he is still a fugitive. Arranging to talk with him in exile in Russia is a bit of a complicated, confidential process.
Do you think they're going to find you there?
I think under the U.S. sort of legal regime right now, they embrace a practice called extraordinary rendition, which basically means kidnapping. It actually literally means kidnapping, where it doesn't matter whether you have asylum. If they can basically just snatch you, it is entirely legal in the U.S. system of law to take you back and throw you in jail.
Do you get recognized on the streets in Russia?
That's what this is for. I don't get recognized very often. If I'm in the grocery store, no one recognizes me. If I'm on the metro, no one recognizes me. If I go into a computer store, right, like I haven't even walked through the door and instantly everyone knows it's me. It's the weirdest thing.
And are you always looking out to think, is that guy going to kidnap me? Is this man going to render me back?
No. If the United States government is going to take some action against me, if someone is going to, God forbid, assassinate me on the street, that's only going to prove my point. I've done as much as I can, and I'm going to continue to do more and more as I have the days, but I'm satisfied with the choices that I've made. And however much time that I have, I can only be grateful for.
Grateful, yes, but aware that just about everyone who has helped him has had to pay in some way. So was it worth it?
Exposing unlawful or unconstitutional activities is always going to be a risky thing. But that doesn't mean it needs to be a dangerous thing. Don't just watch what's happening, do something about it.
That's a plea from someone not really in a position to do anything else. But his supporters in Canada are pushing as hard as they can.
We really wanted to make them feel welcome here in Montreal, so what better way than to watch a Habs game? Thank you.
Vanessa and Kiana taken to watch their first hockey game in Montreal. The bar encouraged to raise money for them. For the refugees, as the charity for them is called. It's all nice, it's all new, it's all a bit bewildering. To be safe, but still so far from secure.